Good morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us from Central Texas soaps. This one here is only found at Pasteur Pharmacy. That's what that is all about right there. Name of this one, this particular scent is going to be Cowboy Spice. Yeah, 5 ounces. What's in the container? That's what it looks like there on the inside. It's a pretty soft soap, easy to scoop out, lather up in a bowl, and got the matching aftershave right here. And that's what it looks like here in the bowl. I've got a small wooden bowl. That's what I got it whipped up in here. And with a Omega, this particular brush has a boar knot, BC for black and clear. I've got a link down below also. It's a pretty inexpensive brush. You can pick it up for under $6 if I remember right. Nice little boar brush, easy to work with. Blade of the day, Wilkinson sword. That's what it comes wrapped in, and here's a little container that it was in. And got it. This particular one, probably won't see very many of these particular kind of razors. This is from Metalworks. He no longer does this kind of work, unfortunately, but nice setup here. Handle's aluminum, and most of the weight, in other words, going to be right here in the head. It kind of, sort of, it might resemble the head of a Merkur 34. Go ahead and give it a shave and see how it works out with that particular blade. Or to put a hot towel to the face this morning, and go ahead and wet. We're going to use the pre-shave cube from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and what's left of it. I'm looking at it over here because it's there really isn't a whole lot left of it. It's getting pretty small. Yeah, that's all that's left of this one here. Been working with this one for a while, and I think after this one here I might be working with a pre-shave oil. Haven't decided which one just yet. I've got more than one I can use, and one of them comes to mind that I've had for a moment and got it, can't remember if it's at Marshall's or Ross. Picked it up, I guess you might say, on the cheap, in other words, from for Art of Shaving. Give it a try and see how it works out. Right now, in my opinion, when it comes to pre-shave oil, one that seems to work rather well is Taconic's pre-shave oil. It's a pretty good pre-shave oil. Not sure exactly what all's in it, but it seems to have something in it. Gives just a little extra, I guess you might say, slip on the razor or something that I noticed when I've used it. Today is Wednesday, hump day. This is a pretty nice scent. Might, in other words, your nose might pick up some jasmine, citrus, cedar, lavender, to give you some sort of idea what the scent's all about. You can kind of tell it was pretty easy to whip up. This brush is still pretty new. It's still got a few more uses before it's, how you say, good and broke in, but it seemed to lather up pretty easy with it. You can find a number of Omega brushes, either synthetic or boar knot, or maybe even you like a mixture of badger and horsehair. I think there's a few of them there that are listed. They've got quite a few you could choose from. Man, that smells good. All right. It has been a good long moment since I used this one, so we'll see how it works out. Typically when I would pick up some of these razors from Metalworks, the blades of choice for him when he would send a razor with some blades was lattice. I was thinking about using it and decided to go with the Wilkinson sword. Wilkinson sword's a pretty nice blade. Not always the easiest to find, and maybe not always the, how you say, cheapest, if you will. But I find they work out pretty well. There's more than one variety of Wilkinson swords, so I feel like on this one here is the reason why it's important to show you what it comes in. I've got some, in other words, that come in a pack like this. Then I've got another one that has, it's a plastic pack like this, but it's a little bit larger on one end for some reason. Not sure why. But then there's also one, I probably should put a link down below, one Wilkinson sword that's listed as economy. And then there's one that comes from Gillette Wilkinson sword. And I think some of those are made in India. Now those are pretty decent blades also. And they're not super expensive by any means. Pretty nice soap. Soap base works out pretty nice. My first time going, in other words, using Central Texas soaps. Alright, got quite a bit here on the brush. It's getting closer to Thanksgiving, Christmas. Yeah, just a few days away, so it's crunch time on gathering everything up. Still got to work out the desserts. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to have, but I have a funny feeling I'm going to be picking them out here pretty darn quick. Pretty smooth, working out really well. It's still fairly cold here this morning. I think it's right about freezing, and close to, I think it might be 34 degrees. And we got a dense fog advisory out this morning, but it's supposed to be warming up the closer we get to Christmas. So no white Christmas here, that's for sure. Alright, cross grain pass went pretty smooth. I would say, yeah, this particular shave is pretty close to a 34. Got just a little bit left on the face, not a whole lot. Smooth and comfortable this morning, that's for sure. For me, setting this one up here was pretty, if you can see on the thumb, I've got a few backgrounds that I was toying around with, and this one here, I figured the shotgun shells would work out pretty well. I was thinking about putting a cactus in the background. Loft on this one here, I don't remember the loft of this knot, but it still works out all right as a painter. Not much on face lathering. I've got a few sticks I plan on working up here pretty soon when I get the nerve worked up to face lather on camera. I probably ought to practice a time or two off camera, see if I can get used to it. For me, it is a challenge to face lather. Very smooth. There is not a whole lot left of whiskers. Right through there, it gets a little thick. Against the green pass takes care of most of that right through there. Gets thick right through there the closer you get to the chin. You feel just a little bit of resistance because it gets very thick. The closer you get to this area, yeah, the thicker it gets. A little tough mowing, in other words. Pretty nice shaver. I usually reserve this one here. I've got more than one red one, that red black one like this that I kind of keep back for right around the Christmas season. Nice color for Christmas. I've got another one that's got a red handle that's very reminiscent of what you might see with Razor Rock's DE, the 3-piece that usually sells for under 10 bucks. I think it's like maybe $7.99 or something like that. It's relatively inexpensive. Nice shaver. Not much left on the face. Went pretty smooth this morning. See what the alum block has to say this morning. It's going to last quite a bit longer. I would venture to say this is probably going to last until the midsummer next year. Got just a little bit of stinging right there. That's about it. Scent on this one here, as it goes for scent strength, it's not a bold in your face, not with these, not with this kind of scent. It's just a subtle scent, I guess you might say, at least for my nose. And that's saying a lot when we're talking about my nose, because it's only works part of the time, and that doesn't mean 50-50. It's more like 30% of the time it works, and the rest of the time maybe, barely. Ever since I started doing wet shaving a few years back, putting witch hazel on my head definitely has improved the skin on my head, that's for sure. Pretty good stuff, witch hazel. Whatever brand that you buy, whatever scent, for me it does wonders for my head, because it used to be quite a bit worse than what it is right now. All right, now for the aftershave. Comes in a blue container, glass, and let's see here. Trying to remember. I think this is. I didn't quite catch it. I should have looked it up to make sure whether it's 3.4. I will say that when this was shipped to me, tape was around the cap and the bottle, helped keep everything in place so it doesn't work itself loose or anything like that. So no leakage. I like this blue bottle, and there's the restrictor there. Yeah, since it's new, it's going to take a little bit of work to get the aftershave out there. This is a very nice scent. I like the title of the soap, Cowboy Spice. Thought that was a pretty good idea. Smells nice. I think my wife might comment on this one here this morning. We'll have to wait and see. Open the door and see what she has to say about it. It does smell good though. It really does. I had a great shave this morning. Easy to use. Like I say, this particular DE, I don't think you're going to find it. You might find the handle somewhere. Maybe. I kind of doubt it. Very nice coloration. Just awesome little shaver. Works well for me. Had a great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well on hump day. Hope you're not too terribly busy wrapping everything up. We'll talk to you later. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.